Between you and me, we're going to be spending a whole lot of time right in this interface, so it makes sense for us to get to know it a little bit better. Lots of stuff going on. Let's start at the top and work our way down. These are the pull-down menus. So obviously, when I say go to the type menu, what I want you to do is go to the word type and click, and it pulls down a menu. You will notice some of the options like create outlines have shortcuts. We'll talk more about those in another movie. But some of the items, actually quite a few, have a triangle to the right of them. If you move to one of these, it expands out and opens up another area. I think you know that. That's what the triangle means. And what I can see now is my nice list of all the different fonts that I have, or my recent fonts, which I absolutely love. So the pull-down menus, to get out of them, just click again and close that back down again. The next line down, you have two options. One of those is to access the bridge, and the other one over here is to arrange your documents. We'll talk more about that when we have documents to arrange. The next line down has a lot of features on it, and it changes based on what you're doing. So if I come over here and pick up my type tool, you will notice things changed over here. I now can go into my character panel by clicking here, my paragraph panel. I can do simple things like left, center, and right justify. If I go back to my selection tool, that stuff goes away. So think of this area as a changeable area that fits exactly what you're doing. For example, here's another way to get to preferences if you want to go there. Over here, we have another button. Now again, this changes based on what you're doing. I have the selection tool selected, so it's allowing me to select certain fill colors, stroke colors, fill and stroke, based on the colors that are over here. That's important to remember. You can just click somewhere to turn that off. Way over here on the right, you'll see one more option. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. Aligns, anchor points, artboards. For example, this is my brush size right here. If, no matter what I'm doing, I don't want to see that, I can come over here and say turn that off. So anytime my brush would be available to me, it would no longer be in that option bar. You can choose what's there. Now, everything that's here right now, you can see all the stuff is not up here right now. It depends on the tool you're using. So talking about tools, let's move over here. Here's the toolbar. Lots of things going on in this toolbar. Selection tools, design tools, paint brushes, all kinds of things going on. You will notice a couple of things. Number one, when you select a tool, it gets darker, meaning you do have it selected. You will notice that the tools have letters of the alphabet associated with them for quickly accessing them. For example, if I want to go to the type tool, I can press the letter T and it goes automatically to the type tool. Another thing, you will notice that some of the options, not all of them, but some of them have a small triangle right in the lower right-hand corner. And what that means is there are more tools underneath there. If we go to the type tool, there's quite a few. Now here's a cool feature of Adobe Illustrator that's been there, well, forever. But if I come over here and click this button right here, I can tear off that tool set. Now, when you think about it, that's actually pretty cool. Let's say you are working with the type tool. There's all kinds of versions of the type tool, and you're always coming back over here to select a new version. With it torn off, you get them right here. Let's go ahead and close that just by clicking that button right there. Down here, these aren't really tools, technically speaking, but they are the stroke and fill colors. Now, if I were in Adobe Photoshop, I'd be saying that's the foreground and the background color. Anytime you draw a shape over here, it has the potential for having a stroke and or a fill, and that's where we can set this up. We've got buttons down here for changing things like color, adding a gradient, or even turning something off. You have buttons down here for drawing, and this button down here allows you to change what's called the screen mode. Down here, you have a button that allows you to change the size of the view just with a click. Over here, this one right here, if you are working with artboards, it gives you the ability to go to another artboard, which we'll talk about in another movie. Over here, of course, are the panels, the ubiquitous panels in Adobe Illustrator. What we're looking at right now, let's go back up here for a second. We're looking at Essentials. And as you can see, we have different layouts. You've got painting, printing, and proofing. We're in Essentials. They actually come like this. See this little button right here, double arrow? They're collapsed out. That's Essentials. I don't like working with them that way. I prefer, now I'm sacrificing room, but I like them expanded out. So I click that button again, and they come right back out for me. No matter what you're doing in Adobe Illustrator, understanding the interface of the program is like driving the car. You have to know where things are. We're just getting started with the interface. We've got a lot more to learn, but on to the next.